G'day, and thank you for considering Feedem Fighters. Clearly you're a person of impeccable taste and superior judgment. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the play. My publishers asked me to speak a little bit about it. I guess a play starts with a premise, and a premise is a kind of what if. And a comic premise is a what if with a twist. And my what if was born when I read a tiny little article in the newspaper about these crazy urban terrorists who were commissioned by families who tried everything, and they kidnapped morbidly obese people, and these are people that were so obese they were going to die, to lose weight. So they put them in a little room and starved them and made them exercise and all that sort of stuff. And they were so successful that they had a waiting list of clients, which I thought was disturbing and funny at the same time. So that was the seed of this idea. So I thought maybe if we transplanted that from America to Australia, and these people kidnap Daryl, our protagonist. But the thing is that Daryl, here's the comic twist, Daryl's not that fat. I mean, he's fat like I'm fat, he's fat like my friends of my age are fat, but he's not kind of one of these crazy morbidly obese guys. He likes his beer, he's, all that sort of stuff, but he's not someone like off the internet you might see. So that becomes a problem. For the terrorists who kidnap him, becomes a problem for Daryl, because he soon realizes that his wife Bernice has planned to get him kidnapped so she can run off with the Pilates instructor and squirrel away all his money before he gets out. So it allows a playwright a fantastic escalation of absurdity, which is a great comic staple for a writer. So it becomes, and it reaches this sort of denouement, which always sounds pretentious when you say that. Let's call it a climax. I notice I purse my lips when I do that, denouement. When it reaches a climax, and of course then it gets really funny and crazy. Beneath the comic absurdity, there's a lot of questions that I probe, because a playwright writes writes to say something. That was I think Orwell, I'm paraphrasing, but said, a writer writes to expose a kind of collective lie. So, and in fact, satire really is humour with a point of view, isn't it? That's really what satire is. So, this is a cultural satire that talks about unlawful extraction, which resonates from Gosford to Guantanamo Bay, let's face it. It talks about food, our obsession with food porn, which, from a third world perspective is kind of really disturbing. And these shows, these sort of weight loss shows and things. So I think, I always think that in hundreds of years' time from now, that people will look back at this period with the same sort of morbid fascination that we think about the peasants from Elizabethan England blackening their teeth so they look like rich people because rich people could afford sugar, or 18th century people wearing powdered wigs. There's a sort of strangeness about it that I don't understand, that I'm trying to sort of unpack through this sort of comic journey. So I hope you enjoy the play, and thank you for considering it, and please accept this plastic flower as a gift. It will need watering.